Did you really think I was going to burn $20? I mean, seriously, guys. Guess which lens I'm using to film this with? Just take a guess. Is it the 1.8? Is it the 1635 power zoom? Is it the G Master? It's the power zoom! Pretty much comparing two of the 16 and 35s, and I have my 20 just for reference here. So we're going to do the 16 by 35 G Master 2, then we're going to do the 16 to 35 power zoom f4. We'll see it in normal vlogging mode, nighttime shooting, and just stable. And we'll see which one you like. Can you tell the difference? Honestly, if you look at it, maybe if you're really anal about it, but on video, they all look very, very good, no matter what. You can't really complain about either one of them. So I'll let you see all that in this scenario. All right, let's do some walking tests. This is the 16 to 35 G Master 2 at 16 millimeters dynamic stabilization. The lighting's pretty good. Got fluorescent lighting. We're at a shutter 50, aperture 2.8. As you can see, it's got a pretty wide field of view. So I will probably only do this in active steady shot. I don't have an ND filter for any of these, so this is probably around 5 p.m. in October, so the sun shouldn't be too bright, shouldn't be overly exposed. Pros of this lens, I love that there's a 2.8 aperture. The quality of it is absolutely phenomenal, and I would not change anything about that. The only thing I do not like is the fact that it is, whenever it's on the 16 millimeters, it is extended all the way, which gives it maybe like a little bit out. It's a little annoying because any other zooms, you think that if you zoom into something, the barrel would come out more. So it's kind of annoying. And plus this thing weighs like 547 grams, something like that. Close enough. It is quite chunky. This is probably like the Viltrox 16 millimeter. Going down some stairs here, so test out the stabilization as well. Either way, like I said, this is pretty good whenever you have it. Image quality, really can't complain about it. So we will try the next lens, which is the 16 by 35 power zoom. Okay, same test, 16 to 35 power zoom f4. Aperture is at 4, same shutter, auto ISO, auto white balance. Doing the same walking test. Granted, this is a lot lighter than the G Master. This is the G lens, so like I said, I don't have any ND filters for any of these, so I'll take the 20 millimeter. I'll probably put an ND filter on that one because I do have one for that because that's my own. So the filter thread size of this one is 72. I don't have one of those, but pros of this one is you got an aperture of 4, which is nice in most vlogging scenarios. As you can see, it's probably blown out pretty bad here, so I'm trying to angle it a little bit. But the telezoom is very, very nice. Granted, it's a little sensitive, so if my thumb right here touches it a little bit or even gets close to it, it kind of freaks out and it's like, oh, do you want to go zoom in? You want to zoom out? So, and you don't have to worry about the scenario of moving the zoom or anything. So I'm probably super blown out, but I really wanted to test out the aperture here at minimum. Like I said, I would normally have an ND filter for this, so excuse that on my end. This is way more lightweight, more compact, so I'm leaning more towards this, guys. Either way, you really can't go wrong. This is shorter, more compact, but I'll do a summary at the end. Just wanted to let you see what it looks like. It's a little darker environment, but either way, f4 is still pretty good. And last but not least, this is my 20 mil 1.8 at 1.8. I do have an ND filter on this, so it won't be so blown out whenever I go outside. So this is more to have a variable. It's definitely more punched in here than the other ones because of the 20 millimeters. The reason I'm getting or even testing out some of these lenses is because I want to be able to use a 16 millimeter during the day, put an ND on it. That way I have a wider field for everybody to see, because as you can see, like I try my best here, but I have my head cut off or something like that. Honestly, I'll tell you guys, with the 1.8, I'll probably use this at nighttime on the cruise or any other time we're vlogging, traveling, because it does so well in low light. And of course I'll show you that, but I'll probably, to be honest with you, pick up the 16 to 35 power zoom and literally use that just during the day. It's compact, it's lightweight. The G Master is double the price, almost double the price. If you get one used, it's even better on the power zoom. So I really didn't think I was gonna like that at all, but that one has surprised me. I'm really happy with it. So with the combo of this one at nighttime and the power zoom during the day, I don't think I'm gonna get beat. You know, even the power zoom in low light does pretty well, but this one works really, really well. If you watch my other cruise videos, go and do that and subscribe. Damn it. Okay, I do have all three of these going now. Dynamic, active stabilization. This is mainly to show you how punched in the image is on the 20 millimeter. It's pretty negligible for the most part, but in certain scenarios, especially on a cruise ship or when we're vacationing, you can get more objects, more people in the frame. I travel a lot with my wife, so we can both be in the frame with a 16 millimeter with dynamic stabilization. It's very difficult on 20 millimeter. Granted, as I stated previously before, if you put it on active steady shot, the 20 millimeter does really, really well. The stabilization works really, really well, but at the same time, I really want to use the dynamic just because of the gimbal-like stabilization that I have. All right, here's a low light test, pretty much going from daylight into my gym garage, which is going to be pitch black. So this is the 16 by 35 G Master. It is on auto setting, so I let the ISO go up as high as it wants to go, aperture 2.8, to kind of make it fair for it. I will go this way. You could probably still see some light in the back. We're getting darker and darker. I'm going to turn around, so the light will pretty much be non-existent here. So it's bumping up the ISO pretty good here, and it still looks very, very good. So this is kind of a low light scenario that most people will probably run into. So this is a very good test here at an aperture of 2.8. Granted, physics is always going to win, so the 1.8 will blow all these out of the water. F4, you'll see how that goes. It may not be as good, but like I said, I have basically two lenses that I can keep with me at all times. Same test, daylight, 16 millimeters, dynamic, active, steady shot. So either way, this is F4. Obviously, you will not beat physics unless Sony figures that out. But all these Sony cameras, modern versions of it, do very good in most lighting scenarios. So even with that little bit back, I'm in pretty much pitch black around me. It's still trying to take as much light as possible here. And it looks really good still. So I'm not overly upset about it at F4. It is bumping up the ISO pretty good. As you can probably see, I'm only using the screen monitor, so whenever you look at it on a big screen, it'll probably look really noisy. Sony, make a small lens at 2.8, but you can't beat physics unless somebody figures it out. Maybe that's what I need to do, is figure that one out. Either way, this one, low light test, power zoom. And the last of them, which is my main lens, is my 20 millimeter bright. It's probably overexposed, but we're gonna walk into the darkness here. I'm almost contemplating just putting an ND filter on here to have a little bit of cheating here, because this thing at 1.8 in pitch black makes it look like there's so much light that it's kind of ridiculous. So if I block out some of this light, it'll probably capture me better here. So as you can see, it's bumping up the ISO now, but at the same time, it's taking in that light very, very well. The only thing, like I said, I don't like is it's so close to my face. Granted, I could probably turn off dynamic and it would be inactive and have almost at 16, but at the same time, it's not gonna be as stable. It's still super stable either way, but only gripe. I don't have any other gripes with that. This is a great lens. Make this your combo with the 16 to 35 power zoom. Here is the low light test for the G Master and the power zoom. I didn't include the 20mm because that was unfair, because it's 1.8. You will not beat physics in that case. But the garage is pitch black in there. I did have a little bit of sunlight come in. The cameras are so good, so it makes it look like there's a bunch of light when there isn't. Honestly, the f4 surprised me quite a bit here, but as I said, I would use the 1.8 at nighttime and use the f4 mainly during the day. G Master has a beautiful image, but can't really tell the difference, to tell you the truth here, if we're comparing apples to apples. Okay, so this one is the 16 by 35 power zoom. I do have the Sony ZV-E1's auto framing, so it probably is feeling like it's following me and tracking me pretty well. This is at f4. This is a talking head piece, so I just wanted everyone to see what this looks like, because I do use this quality and feature of the ZV-E1 quite a bit. Either way, how does it look? We'll compare it to the G Master. Here's the G Master with the AI tracking. Either way, the knob and the dial still annoy me even when it's on a tripod and stand, just because it's really confusing. I guess you just have to think invertedly. Either way, the image quality will probably look very good here with the 2.8 aperture. So there's really no complaining here. Like I said, this is double the price, actually more than double the price of the power zoom. And you could get the power zoom and the 20mm 1.8 prime, and it would still be cheaper to get both of those combos than this one lens. And both of them are very compact, and I'm pretty sure if I stacked them together, they still wouldn't be as tall as this G Master. But image quality, however you feel about it for yourself. So in conclusion, final verdict, G Master 16-35 2.8, is it worth it? It's like $2,300 plus tax, which in Tennessee would be like over $200. So you're talking about $2,500. But if you get it through B&H, you get their credit card, you take away sales tax. There you go, helpful tip. Either way, image quality is great. I hate the inverted zoom scenario where the 16 is actually longer than the 35. The weight of it's over 500 grams, which is significant once you're holding it for a long time. Holding it with your hand out like this is great if you're holding the lens, but at the same time, even if you lift weights, it's literally like doing a front raise and keeping it there forever. So those are the cons, is the price and the weight. Image quality, you're not gonna beat it. I was actually very surprised, as I wanted to get the G Master just to say, well, I have one, image quality is great. But talking next is the power zoom 16-35 f4. I really thought f4 wasn't gonna do me very, very well here, but surprisingly, I cannot discern the image quality between the G Master and the power zoom, just to be honest with you. In everyday scenario, what I'm doing, you can anally look at all the images, take pictures of everything, look at the corners, do everything like that. But at the same time, for what I'm doing on YouTube, vlogging, capturing memories best I can, honestly, the power zoom has all the benefits for me. It's tiny, it's cheaper, you can find it used for less than $1,000. It literally has some of the best zooming features where I can just smoothly zoom in and out.
I have no complaints about it besides the f4, but at the same time, like I said, once you pair it with that 20 millimeter, you're good to go. So if you haven't figured it out, I'm gonna recommend the Power Zoom f4 all day long until the cows come home, people. So like, comment, subscribe, you know how it is. If you like this content, I'll keep making it. I'll rent more shit, who knows? The chicken might rent more shit, I don't know. Either way, if you like it, please comment. Tell me what you hate, tell me what you love. I'll keep doing all this stuff no matter what.